Welcome back, friends. Today is day 52 of my journal. I wanted to talk about a conversation that I've had with my mentor today that goes along with this series on emotions that I'm continuing. This one, I want to talk about risk management, and I want to explain how you can use risk management, but also expectations to increase happiness in your life and deal with the ups and downs. I love investing in the stock market. I enjoy doing it. I like making money off of it. I love reading about companies. I love trying to find a good deal on something that I deem undervalued by the stock market right now. And I like to look into the future the best I can and project what I think will happen. I enjoy that tremendously. So I will take a value trader position and I try to buy companies when everyone else wants to sell them. What this leads is to days where I make very, very, very low percentages or maybe nothing. But it's also led me to have more volatility and more risk. I'm not as risk adverse in my trading portfolio. And this is because I've learned to manage risk in a way that I don't feel the emotional connection to it as much. There's been days I've lost six figures. Those days used to hurt a lot. Now they're part of the plan because it doesn't really matter what happens day to day because I'm thinking down the road. I'm thinking 3 to 5 years ahead. And my expectations when I initially started investing, they weren't as long term. And so the first day that I lost $1,000 in a day, that felt like such a kick in the balls. It hurt so bad. The second time it happened, I didn't really care as much. And then the third, I didn't really care as much. And by the 10th time it had happened in my 6 years of investing, it didn't faze me at all. That's just a nothing day. Because in the type of investing I do, there is a lot of volatility. And that volatility causes big swings up and down. And recently I've made a big bet 3 years ago I made a big bet. And recently I've been able to see some of the fruits of that labor pay off. And in those cases, in some of these days, I've had where I've lost six figures in a day, gained multiple six figures in a day. And those days don't affect me as much because I'm still looking into the future. When you look at the stock market for the first time and you see a huge number for you and it's green or red, you probably will have an emotional response. I'm just human. I still have those emotional responses, but their impact on me because I've managed my risk and I've also managed my expectations for what I think should happen day to day and where I actually put the care of what happens day to day, I don't actually get affected that much. You're able to do this if you learn how to manage your expectations. My expectations are that I have no idea what it will do today, tomorrow, or in a week. What I do know is that I'm banking that I have a high percentage chance of making quite a bit of money in the next 5 years if I hold on to this stock, no matter what it does day to day. That is the risk management style that I've taken. And that is how I've managed my expectations. When I manage expectations in life, in relationships, I've realized that it hurts more to not be given something than to be promised. It hurts more to be promised that I will get something and then have it taken away and never happen, rather than never having what I was promised, but no one ever told me that I was promised. In clearer words, the letdown that comes from being promised something and then not receiving it is much higher than the letdown of not getting anything. If you weren't made the promise, it doesn't hurt as bad. So in relationships, I've tried to underpromise what I can do, where I can help, what I will give, and overdeliver, because that gives the least amount of expectations and the most amount of surprise. This works really good for your significant other. If you underpromise or downplay something that you're going to do for them and then overdeliver, then it's a much bigger surprise because you're managing their expectations. Because if I tell you I'm going to buy you a car and I tell you it's going to be a Lamborghini, you're going to be mad that it's a Toyota Camry if I give you a Toyota Camry. Even though it's a new car and it's brand new to you and it's all nice and it's free. You will be disappointed because your expectations were tremendously higher than what reality was. And if you can match your expectations to where reality could be or will be, or even lower, which is what I like to do, it's a good way to actually use expectations to no longer steal your joy, but to give you joy. Because if you wake up thinking every day will be hard and that today will be a tough day, and something good happens because you're looking for it, and something good does happen, that is going to hit you with a harder punch of dopamine. It's going to hit you with a much more enjoyable experience because you were not planning on it going that well. When your expectations are low, but your hope is high, where you can actually see your life and the good things in it, and you can hope for good things, but expect low things, your enjoyment goes up. People that have nothing will be happy if you give them food to eat. But if you give someone that's well-to-do a burger, it won't mean as much. I like the car analogy the best. If I promise you a Lamborghini, but I give you a Toyota Camry, you're going to be disappointed in the free car because I promised you a Lamborghini. If you manage your expectations, you will give yourself more joy. And if you learn risk management, you will be able to take risks in your life that you are okay with. And if you broaden your time horizon on investments, friendships, relationships, the work you're doing right now, you're going to be able to manage that risk. You're going to be able to manage your feelings about it much more easily. It won't be as difficult. I feel like I've been kind of rambling, but that's probably because it's late and I did not sleep well last night, so I'm going to get to bed. But I hope that you guys learn how to take thoughtful risk and learn to push yourself in areas you don't know if you can handle. And by lowering your expectations and being realistic with your expectations, but being hopeful for more, you will have more joy in your life. I do know that. And as you try to lower your expectations, but increase your ability to notice the good things around you, your life will get better because you won't be as disappointed when things don't work out because you're planning on them not working out. But you are hopeful that if you work hard, they will. So try that. It's a little different thought than most people talk about. They talk about having high expectations for yourself and pushing yourself and grinding, and it's not super fulfilling when you fall short because you will fall short in some ways. But if you have this mindset I've talked about, you might find that you can deal with what is going on and still continue forward. And you will be happier and more joyous in those harder times. So try that. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I love you all. Go be the good in the world.